So the popcorn business wasn't good enough for you? Had to screw over Wisconsin citizens instead? Watch out, boys. He likes skinny dipping and long walks on the beach. So, do you think, what do you think about Nygren, your fellow committee member? No, I couldn't. What do you think about Nygren, your fellow committee member? Not getting enough signatures. Huh, Robin? Huh, Robin? Why wasn't popcorn enough for you, Robin? How's Amy doing in Chicago?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I think we're talking back. Okay, cool.
So how does it feel to disgrace your state and your country? Do you think a lot more people would like Prosser if he had choked you instead? Looks like a woodpecker, acts like a pecker would. Robin Voss.
Senator from Buck.
I have a real quick question. I think having to go through the discovery process obviously is an important thing. There's going to be lawsuits involved, but I think some money actually could be saved if we could fit some of the things that were discussed in this into evidence. This is maybe a question for the council. Are there any other occupations out there that you can think of where I can tell you I'm sorry I did the wrong thing and it's not admissible?
Not to my knowledge. This appears to be in the chapter on evidence. This looks like it would be the only statute that specifies that particular question.
Okay, I want to vote for this, but I'm having a really difficult time, like Senator Risser is, in the fact that I just emotionally can see the value of the legislation. If you take one segment of society, one occupation, say, you can say, I'm sorry you cut off the wrong leg, and I know you're remorseful in doing it, and mistakes do happen, but to give them the kind of legal protection and respect, at least for the time being, I don't know if necessarily the right way to go. So as it stands right now, I'm going to vote against the legislation, hopefully we can back it on for and make it a little bit better on both sides.
Senator Risser.
Yes. You know, this bill applies only to healthcare providers and for their agents. You know, if you get in an automobile accident with someone and the other person says, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I probably ran the red light, that's admissible in the court. And so you're protecting the doctor, but you're not protecting the average citizen that might be in the same situation. In other words, if it's good public policy to apologize and why isn't it good public policy for everyone? Why do you single just out?
Senator Galloway.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, because the doctor-patient relationship is unique. It's not the same as the guy that gets in the car in the street and talks to you after getting in the car. It's a unique relationship.
Senator from Buck.
There's all sorts of unique relationships in a person's life with their counselor, with their priest, with, you go on and down the line. And we're only saying doctors, and again, I totally understand why it is healthy emotionally for the doctor to be able to sit down with the patient, or the patient to be able to sit down with the doctor and have a free-flow discussion about what happened, how it happened, and all sorts of things like that. But again, we're taking one occupation, one person in an individual's life, and the person and the individual has so many other relationships that are similar to the occupational relationship with other professionals out there, and we're treating them different. Again, we're trying. I understand the intent of the legislation, I understand the goal of the legislation, I actually even understand the outcome of the legislation and how it was adjusted a little bit to benefit everybody involved.
Comment in a book. You know, you were saying that you can go into discovery, but I don't know if you can. It says it's not admissible into evidence or subject to discovery in any civil action or administrative hearing. Now, this applies not only to the doctor, but the doctor's agent or employee. So, if you go into a discovery and the doctor's absolved, and you can't even ask the nurse what happened apparently, if the nurse, because it's not subject to discovery, and how do you go after a malpractice suit? The doctor, his agent is absolved, and everyone connected with the doctor, the hospital, the talk. I like the idea, but I don't like the idea of being so broad that you can't even pursue an action. Like I say, I think it's way too broad. The concept is a good one, but to apply it to just doctors, but doctors' agents, or any employees, or anyone connected with the doctor, is way too broad.
Senator from Bucks.
So if I got this right, if you're my doctor and something happens and you say to me, I'm really sorry, John, we screwed up, we did this when we should have done that, or somebody did this in the operating room, they should have done that, whatever the case may be. I understand how the discussion isn't, and this is, I guess, maybe more for the council too. I understand how the exact word you use with the I'm sorry, it's my fault language isn't admissible. But the question I would have is, if I'm talking to a lawyer and I can say to the lawyer, look, the doctor told me this in our discussion, is that subject to any sort of lawsuit?
Okay, I'm sorry, can you rephrase the question?
Yeah, the question is if the chairman is my doctor and says, I'm sorry, we were wrong, we did this when we should have done that, we used this when we did, it's totally our fault, we're really wrong.
Right.
In discussions with a lawyer, and I tell the lawyer, look, this is what the doctor said in our meeting. Does the lawyer, through discovery, then have the ability to go back to the doctor and say to the doctor, this is what you said, can you confirm that? Or are you at fault, did you say this in our case?
The way I read the statute is that discussion would not, the doctor's admission would be precluded by the statute.
In a follow-up question then, if the doctor is on the stand, and the doctor privately admits fault to me in our meeting, but publicly on the stand during the trial, uses different words, or is less than honest about what happened, there's no way to prove that because I can't say what the doctor told me and use it in the trial.
So as a way to impeach the witness then?
Well, I guess what I'm trying to get at, if the discussion is discoverable, how is it discovered? I mean, if what Senator Kenzie is saying, that there are avenues to get at who's at fault and what happened during the operation, but the doctor doesn't have to, what the doctor said to me isn't admissible, how do they get at it? Just look at congressional hearings. You gotta put the microphone next time you need it. And then we come back and say no comment.
Sure. The distinction made by the statute is to the patient or the relative. So if the statement's made to something else, then that wouldn't be covered by the statute. So it's made to a lawyer, it's made to somebody investigating
The doctor would have to say that to the lawyer. But if the doctor says to any number of relatives I didn't even know I had, no, that it is our fault, we messed up. None of that is admissible, and it's very topic isn't even discovered.
Right. Well, those statements aren't discoverable.
Okay, so what I'm trying to get at here is if the doctor tells me I'm sorry, then on the stand, doesn't say anything, doesn't admit fault, doesn't take responsibility or anything, there's no way to get at actually.
I'd have to be able to just look at deeper to get an answer for you on that.
I believe Senator Kenzie.
Yeah, just, and I'm not trying to prolong this thing.
Oh, why not?
But, you know, again,
I can't imagine the doctor coming in, 20 minutes after I'm groggy after waking up from being knocked out and apologizing immediately for cutting off the wrong leg. I would tend to think, I know for facts you can't say that, but I would tend to think very strongly that the doctor in charge of the OR at the time they're in charge of whatever will gather all the information necessary to drop exactly what happened. So when we do sit down and talk with you about what happened, we can admit the responsibility where the responsibility should be and apologize. So I don't think the doctors would say something just off the cuff immediately, no doctors, without knowing the facts.
Senator Kenzie.
and I'm not trying to have a debate with the Senate. There are things that happen.
Doctor makes a mistake. He ordered a particular syringe and it's the wrong one. So he tells the nurse, go admit that you put the wrong syringe in there, because if you admit it, they can't bring it up in trial. So she said, okay, I'll admit it, doctor. I did the wrong thing. I put the wrong syringe in there. If she's absolved, they can never come after her. And so in trial, they never convict. I don't know how the trial lawyer goes after, because the nurse said, I made a mistake. I publicly, she goes and says, my fault. So she's absolved under this bill. And that subject, that information can't come out. I just think you're worried about the poor doctor. I'm worried about the paraplegic who's been made ruined for life because of a mistake. I agree with you. I'd like to see the doctor's benevolent statement, but why can't we leave out the fault, liability, and responsibility words, which the Wisconsin Association for Justice recommended? When they were here at the hearing, they said, if you cut up those C words, we'll go along with it. And I'll go along with it. But I see a situation where there could be a lot of problems on the other side too. So it depends on, I guess we've
Any further discussion?